thing that you went through growing up?
Shit. The worst thing I went through was I caught a case and they tried to give me 57 years. So I had to do I did a year fighting the case. I was in the county. I did a year fighting the case. At that point, I thought it was never. I thought I never was gonna get out of jail. But I'm out now. I'm here on Vlad.
Before that same year ended, he was back in handcuffs on a separate simple assault charge that got dismissed. 2008 brought 2 more cases back to back. Cincinnati police caught him carrying a concealed .32 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver and threw a witness intimidation charge on top of it. A loaded gun and a charge for pressuring somebody cooperating with law enforcement. That wasn't a small situation. Judge Robert Ruman dismissed both. A domestic violence charge that same year got dropped too. By the time he was 19 years old, Broner had already been through aggravated robbery, felonious assault, weapons possession, witness intimidation, and domestic violence charges, all in Hamilton County, all dismissed or acquitted, but all sitting in the file that kept getting thicker. The system kept letting him walk, and every time he walked, nothing about the behavior that put him there changed. 2010 added another robbery arrest in Cincinnati, also dismissed. 2012 brought misdemeanor assault and domestic violence charges, right as his boxing career was blowing up nationally, dismissed again. Either Broner was paying off everyone or the streets had his back. The pattern wasn't the system targeting him, it was the same energy, same situations producing charges over and over again. He kept getting out clean legally. The wilding out that created the charges never stopped. 2013 pushed illegal activity outside of Ohio for the first time. A battery charge out of Miami Beach gave early warning that the Hamilton County Courthouse wasn't going to be the only building in America with his name in the system. The money was getting bigger, the circle around him was getting wider, and the people filling that circle were feeding the same energy that kept landing him in handcuffs. None of it was slowing down, it was picking up speed. 2014 is where Broner's relationship with the court shifted from somebody who kept catching charges to somebody who started straight up ignoring the whole process. A public intoxication arrest after he crashed out at a Marriott hotel should have been the easiest legal situation he ever faced. One court date, handle it, move on. He never showed. That open warrant got swallowed into every law enforcement database that had his name in it and just sat there breathing, dormant, waiting, completely forgotten by Broner while he was out here living his best life. 3 years later, it was going to reach up and grab him at the worst possible moment.
Covington officers discovered an open arrest warrant for skipping a Kenton County court appearance in 2014. The police report says Broner blocked the entrance to the Marriott Hotel and was screaming loudly. He was charged at the time with public intoxication and disorderly conduct.
2015 is where it started actually costing him. A DUI stop gave the world one of the most revealing moments in his entire legal file. When 12 pulled him over, Broner didn't deny it, didn't lawyer up, didn't say nothing strategic. He told 12 he was super rich and famous. That was the play, not a legal defense, bragging about being a celebrity like it was supposed to function as a get-out-of-jail-free card, like on a game of Monopoly.
A local boxer who just won a nationally televised fight faces a drunk driving charge. Sharonville police arrested 25-year-old Adrien Broner, whose nickname is The Problem, back in January. The athlete from South Fairmount refused a breath test when officers stopped his Mercedes at Kemper and Chester. He pleaded not guilty and asked for a jury trial. Broner defeated John Molina Jr. Saturday night in a lightweight division bout.
It does not take a rocket scientist to know that it wasn't. Broner pleaded guilty, no contest to reckless driving, and got 6-month probation, and then violated that before the year was even out.
Bad news for Adrien the Problem Broner as he experiences another problem. Now, Adrien Broner, last summer, I did a video about it. He was arrested for drunk driving, and in the summer, he got some kind of probation of 6 months. He is now back in jail. And it's not related to the assault case, which he's currently has to fight in the court system. But this stems from a probation violation. Again, he has a 6-month probation, and I guess he was caught reckless driving, and he pled no contest to it on Tuesday, so he had to turn himself in. He will be in jail till April 22nd, so a 10-day sentence.
By April 2016, he was formally booked and served 10 days behind bars for it. Early that same year, January 2016, brought the bowling alley situation. The underlying charges eventually got dropped when the victim didn't appear to testify, but Broner had already done the time, not for the crime, but for how he carried himself walking through that courtroom door. 2017 put him on camera in a situation that couldn't be explained away. Surveillance footage from the Las Vegas Strip showed Broner shove a woman and steal on a man named Carlos Gonzalez, dropping him completely unconscious on the pavement. Broner pleaded guilty to battery. Gonzalez, a single father, walked away from that punch with headaches, nausea, and dizziness, bad enough that he eventually lost his driver's license from the damage. When Gonzalez filed a civil suit, Broner spent years ducking being served, until a Las Vegas district judge ran out of patience and entered a $4 million default judgment against him in December of 2020.
A California man violently attacked on the Las Vegas Strip by a professional boxer has been awarded $4 million. In this September 2017 video that's part of court records, world champion boxer Adrien Broner pushes victim Carlos Gonzalez, shoves a woman who tries to intervene, then cold cocks Gonzalez in the face, knocking him unconscious.
Egregious and malicious and intentional and reckless. There is absolutely no reason for a professional boxer who has weaponized his body in the way that Mr. Broner has. He himself has been seen in interviews describing his body and his arms as guns and lethal weapons, to use that kind of force on an unsuspecting civilian. There's no reason for it.
A judge agreed entering a default judgment against Broner after he failed to answer or defend himself in the case, although he did talk about the incident in this Vlad TV interview entered into the court record.
Yeah, that's when they allegedly said these guys walked up on me and I was by myself with over $1 million worth of jewelry on, and they was touching me and I got nervous. That's what allegedly happened, huh? And then I knocked them out.
Well, a lawsuit says Gonzalez, who continues to suffer from debilitating medical issues, have never met or had any previous dealings with Broner before the boxer's unprovoked sucker punch left him lying unconscious and bleeding on the sidewalk. Broner was criminally charged with misdemeanor battery. The lawsuit calls him a menace to society with a long and extensive criminal history covering more than a decade. It claims that instead of being held accountable for his violent behavior, Broner is continually rewarded because of his celebrity status. The victim's lawyer fears it will be difficult to collect the $4 million judgment as Broner doesn't have a regular income stream. At the last event Broner attended here in Las Vegas, the lawsuit says he earned $2.5 million, plus a percentage of profits from a fight that he lost to Manny Pacquiao.
2018 came at him from two directions at once. February dropped an arrest at Lincoln Square Mall in Atlanta, misdemeanor sexual battery, after he allegedly groped a woman inside the shopping center. Booked into Fulton County Jail, out on a $2,000 bond. Then June of that same year, produced the most serious charge on his entire record. At the Park Social Lounge in Cleveland, Broner allegedly pinned a woman he never met onto a couch and forcibly kissed her while she physically fought to get free. One of his own people had to pull him off of her. Somebody nearby snapped a photo and took a video of what was happening. She went straight to Cleveland police that same night. Criminal charges came: gross sexual imposition, misdemeanor sexual imposition, and obstruction. April 2019, Broner pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and unlawful restraint and got 2 years probation. The victim then filed civil. Broner sent lawyers. They withdrew, and he stopped engaging with the case entirely. December 2019, Judge Nancy Margaret Russo entered a default judgment, $500,000 in the punitive damages, $250,000 in non-economic emotional damages, $661 in economic damages, $31,955 in attorney's fees plus costs. Total came out to approximately $830,000. Broner was in the courtroom when she read it.
Hey man, which one y'all like? Y'all like the old money
Oh, y'all like the new money. Man.
Big talker flashing big money. A former world champion boxer met his match when he groped this woman in Cleveland at a nightclub. She got Adrien Broner convicted in criminal court, and she just won a civil lawsuit after Broner didn't fight that, didn't even bother to respond to it.
I've never met him. I was just sitting there. He came out of nowhere. You just can't do whatever it is you want to do just because of who you think you are. Keep your hands to yourself.
Broner worked out a plea deal to the criminal charges, got probation. Then he didn't answer the civil suit. So Judge Nancy Margaret Russo hit him with a judgment ordering him to pay more than $800,000. While the boxer didn't do anything to defend himself in the civil lawsuit, he's asking the court for a break in the criminal case. He wants off of probation early. Here, lawyers write he learned his lesson and coming to Cleveland for probation meetings is a, quote, substantial burden.
Then he made his biggest mistake yet. During court proceedings about the unpaid judgment, Broner sat there and testified under oath that he had $13 to his name. That boy said $13. Then days later, he was on Instagram with stacks of cash spread across the table, flexing for the cameras like the court hearing never happened. Judge Russo didn't send a warning letter. She sent him straight to jail for civil indirect contempt and kept him there until he handed over accurate financial disclosures. That's what it took to get a response out of that boy Broner. March 2020, police in Miami Beach found him passed out cold behind the wheel of his Rolls-Royce SUV, sitting in the middle of traffic with the engine running. Had to shake the whole whip to wake him up. DUI, booked into Miami-Dade County Jail on a $1,000 bond.
Boxer Adrien Broner is charged with DUI. This is video of the boxer arriving at the jail in West Miami-Dade. He was arrested in Miami Beach Friday night after police found him passed out in his Rolls-Royce. They say when officers finally got him to wake up, he was given a sobriety test, which he failed.
That arrest became a probation violation in the Cleveland case, and when he stood before Judge Russo again, he offered up vague personal issues as his explanation. She remanded him on the spot, 7 more days in the county jail. Then 2021, he got jailed again for refusing to enroll in a court-mandated alcohol treatment program tied to his prior assault cases. That's the real Adrien Broner story, not the one El Heyman was selling on Showtime, the one the court's been building since 2000.